Welcome to Easy Driver, the most reliable source of automotive information on YouTube. Please like, share, comment and subscribe. In part 2 of What Would It Take to Build Car-Free Cities, we'll continue our journey into the future of urban planning and how car-free cities could change the way we live. Let's get started. Challenges and considerations. Transitioning to car-free cities sounds like a big win for quality of life, but it's far from simple. While the idea is compelling, several challenges stand in the way. From public resistance to redesigning infrastructure, cities need thoughtful strategies to overcome these hurdles. Let's explore some of the most pressing challenges and considerations. Public resistance. Change is hard, especially when it disrupts habits people rely on daily. Many view cars as symbols of convenience, freedom, and even status. Asking people to give up their vehicles can feel like asking them to sacrifice independence, and that's not an easy sell. Fear of inconvenience often fuels resistance. How will parents get their kids to school? What about grocery runs or trips to the suburbs? These are real concerns for many people, and skepticism can snowball into full-blown opposition when people feel left out of the planning process. There's also a cultural angle. In some places, cars are deeply woven into the fabric of day-to-day life. Overcoming decades of car-centric planning and marketing isn't something that happens overnight. Tackling resistance requires more than just facts and figures. It means listening, engaging, and showing how car-free living benefits everyone. Infrastructure overhaul. Let's face it, most cities aren't ready to just ditch cars. Supporting a car-free model means rethinking how cities are built from the ground up. A city needs reliable alternatives to keep people moving, and that means some serious upgrades. Public transportation. Imagine buses, trains, and trams that run frequently, are affordable, and cover both urban cores and neighborhoods. Most systems today aren't at that level, and scaling them up takes time, money, and coordination. Safe cycling lanes. Painted bike lanes are a start, but they're not enough. Dedicated, protected paths are a must to make cycling a safe and practical option for everyone, not just hardcore cyclists. Pedestrian pathways. Streets need to transform into walkable zones with wide sidewalks, good lighting, and ramps for accessibility. Pedestrian-first design isn't just about safety, it's about creating spaces where people want to be. This isn't just picking one project off a checklist. It's reworking how we connect homes, businesses, and public spaces. Cities need a long-term vision and buy-in from multiple stakeholders to make it work. Equity and access issues. A car-free city sounds great, unless it leaves some people behind. Without proper planning, these initiatives could widen gaps between socio-economic groups. For many, cars aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. How do we ensure these changes don't unfairly hurt lower-income communities? Affordability is a big concern. Public transit must not just exist, it must be reasonably priced. The same goes for bike-sharing programs and other alternatives. Otherwise, these solutions cater only to wealthier groups and ignore those who need them most. Geography matters, too. Not everyone lives in the city center. People in outlying areas or suburbs often depend on cars because public transit doesn't serve their routes. Making cities fully inclusive means thinking beyond downtown and considering how to connect everyone. Lastly, we have to address accessibility for people with disabilities. Removing cars cannot mean removing mobility options. Wheelchair-friendly buses, convenient drop-off zones, and adaptive solutions need to be part of any car-free blueprint. Inclusivity isn't optional, it's the backbone of a fair and practical plan. Taking cars out of cities requires much more than changing traffic laws or adding bike lanes. It's a complex puzzle with social, economic, and logistical pieces that need to fit together. Strategies for implementation. Transitioning to car-free cities is no small challenge. It requires a mix of planning, creativity, and collaboration. For these cities to thrive, we need smart strategies to address the concerns of residents, businesses, and policymakers while creating a livable and accessible urban environment. Policy and legislation. Strong policies act as the backbone of any car-free city. Governments must prioritize measures that reduce car dependency while encouraging alternative transportation. Congestion pricing. Charge vehicles to enter certain areas, especially during peak hours. This discourages non-essential driving while funding public transit improvements. Cities like London and Singapore have already shown how effective this can be. Car bans in key zones. Start by banning cars in heavily trafficked areas like downtown districts or historical neighborhoods. Pedestrian-only streets create vibrant hubs for walking, shopping, and dining. Public transit incentives. Offer subsidies, free passes for families, or reduced fares during off-peak hours. Affordable public transportation should feel like a better deal than owning a car. Tax benefits for sustainable choices. Tax credits for electric bikes, bike-sharing memberships, or opting out of car ownership could encourage change. Legislation must be forward-thinking yet practical. It's about nudging people toward better options without alienating them. Community engagement and education policies and infrastructure won't succeed without public support. Engaging communities and educating them on the benefits of car-free living is essential for building trust and enthusiasm. Workshops and town halls. Involve residents in discussions about planned changes. Give them a platform to share concerns and ideas. Transparency builds trust. Highlight the benefits. Use social media campaigns, local events, and public demonstrations to showcase what a car-free life can look like. Share stories of cleaner air, quieter streets, and healthier lifestyles. Address fears with facts. Many people worry about losing convenience. Explain how improved transit and walkable neighborhoods can meet their needs, and even make life easier. School programs. Start young by teaching kids about sustainable transportation and urban planning. They'll grow up as advocates for better cities. Educating citizens isn't just about information, it's about inspiring a sense of ownership. When people feel included, they're more likely to embrace change. Pilot programs and phased approaches. Going car-free doesn't have to happen overnight. Gradual, incremental steps allow cities to test ideas, gather feedback, and refine their plans. Temporary car-free days. Start small by hosting car-free Sundays or closing streets for events. These trial runs help residents experience the benefits firsthand. Zone-based rollouts. Begin with specific neighborhoods or districts and expand the model outward. This phased approach avoids sudden, large-scale disruptions. Prioritize key routes. Focus first on areas with strong public transit connections or dense populations. Provide robust alternatives before reducing car access. Monitor results. Track air quality, public transport usage, and economic data during pilots. Use insights to adjust before scaling up. Pilots can act like dress rehearsals, letting cities prepare for larger transformations without overwhelming residents or businesses. Future of urban mobility. The way we move around cities is changing fast. As we rethink urban spaces with a focus on reducing car dependency, advancements in technology and shifts in planning are shaping the future of mobility. Let's look at how innovation and forward-thinking design are paving the way for smarter, more sustainable cities. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe for more automotive information like this. Thank you for watching.